it get on the Wi-Fi?
No.
I tried, I found a picture of my internet code from my fucking modem in my phone, and I tried to use that. It started working, but it didn't register.
Dude.
Much like my game. No, I'm just kidding.
You know that Instagram All-Star page?
Yeah.
That I'm on? I'm on this page.
Whoa, what is that?
The subconscious
Neurons, mouse neurons.
So,
and that is the shit that trips me out the most, the microcosm, bro. Look how much that mimics the
space.
Fucking exactly, bro.
Outer space. The way that neurotransmitters like send information to the other ones, like how just the speed too.
That's what I was just thinking too. Like, imagine the speed of like how, like, say aliens do exist, and if they're really in telepathic contact, it's traveling just as fast as those neurons are traveling from neuron to neuron. The fucking connection,
Like the function, like the way that our minds function in comparison to like outer space and whatnot. The function aspect, like the way it functions is one thing, but like the visual too, the way it would look if you actually saw it in action, it resembles what's going on out there too. Like it's not just some unnecessary coincidence that just happens to match up for no.
Is that a Verve magazine?
No.
Oh, I was gonna say. Oh man.
You'd be surprised how deep shit goes though with Verve. Like things that get brought up. Like some people that are in it are pretty hip. It's pretty crazy. Like the shit you'll hear people be like saying. Because we're all just people with our own interests, figuring out a way to be successful in life and make some money, and people that understand the big picture.
And then there's definitely that big ass fucking that like radio signal that each one of us like. I don't know, I guess you can compare it to all signals, all say from, I don't know what it starts from, 88 point something up to 105 something, and like your ego, depending on where you are in your ego, you tap into which radio dial, which ultimately decides what path you go down in life. So say you're on some hit a lick every week type shit, you're destined, from the energy that you output, you're destined to have these things come in repercussion. You're destined to have to carry your gun. You're destined to have to wave it around somebody. There's a possibility someone wants to defend themselves, so there's that. And that's just that, all the aspects that come with being on 88 point something,
Yeah.
Say you tap into something higher, and you elevate yourself to 101 something, 103 something. I don't know, fucking, and you're able to just zoom out, and then just get caught off guard like we do, and just really get thrown in the depth of life like that, instead of having to go out and hit a lick to get that rush. I guess that's where.
But it's understandable because us human beings, we're addicted to anything that'll make our minds feel some way that's out of the normal. Like we don't smoke weed because it makes us feel normal. We don't do heavy drugs because it makes our mind feel the way it is. It puts our mind in like a super mode, like a supreme state. Whatever kind of drug it is, whatever, even alcohol, it's a dumbed down state, but it's supreme in the sense of you can handle your problems a little better. Some people.
I had this like I don't know, like this thought, like. Because being human, and having awareness and a personality and shit, you have like different aspects of it, and I don't know, like when you do acid, you like emphasize different aspects of shit. And I like this one time I had done acid, and I had felt like I had understood the way that I don't know, call it the mind, call it the self, call it the God mind, whatever, ego runs off of wave. I completely understood how it worked because, it was like I was picturing it because I think in like images, I was picturing a circle, and then like split up into the circle are all these like mental disabilities that you see that are emphasized in different individuals, But say you see someone walking down the street who you call normal, his shit is just all balanced. Like his quadrants are all just balanced out. You know, his OCD level is at the right.
So it's
degree,
almost like a pie graph.
exactly. Okay. That's what I'm trying to get at. I'm not good with math.
Hey, neither am I. What the hell? We both deuced out. Same
Yeah.
time. Same shit.
Yeah. But anyway, but a pie chart, bro. The self is like composed of, you have the schizophrenic aspect of yourself. That's you're going through your own reality tunnel, so you associate all your omens that you see, you know. So your numerology is special under you, you know. But and then I don't know, it's hard to explain how it can jump too from one reality to another, you know. Once someone's unable to recognize the pattern, you know. That's when true comprehension, like Jason Silva says, comes into place. When you're able to recognize a pattern, you know.
Yeah, that's how you know you're awake.
Yes.
When you stop saying, "Oh, there's that sign again." Like, how many times do you have to remind yourself that you saw the same damn sign and you're still gonna think it's nothing? Like, just be awake.
And pattern is like the foundation of the universe, you know, because pattern gives rise to texture, and texture gives rise to objects, you know. This table wouldn't be here if it didn't have texture that we can contrast with, you know, this grain with that grain. I don't know.
Yeah, dude,
I forgot where we're going with this.
Right.
You get like that on acid, bro. You'll be rambling with yourself like so much, and you're just like, wait, I forgot where I was going with this.
So with taking acid, do you think like it would be possible to like have like a pen and paper and just like write shit down?
That's what I wanted to do on my next one. Actually, Terence McKenna, he's my favorite philosopher. He only did 3 months of college, bro. He took a botany class, ethnic class, and the Latin class. Okay, and then after that, he was in the 60s and he started doing drugs and shit. So what he found out though is that he was having epiphanies left and right when he was tripping and shit. So what he would do is he'd take a recorder and he'd record himself rambling. You know, he would ramble all throughout his whole trip in a dark room. Like how I said that I meditated the whole time. My first trip, you know, how I just sat in the room. He would do that, but instead of me being quiet, just thinking, you know, and let it all just in one, like in the brain and out the other, you know, he would actually like be talking as he's thinking, you know, like be talking, trying to talk as fast as he's thinking. And
dude,
then,
that's what we do, bro.
For real.
That's like the biggest struggle, but like it just shows to you how limited we are with our words.
Exactly.
Because there's no
you're trying to push the fucking infinite of the universe through these tiny
this fucking
oscillational waves of it's powerful that you can do it, but it's not what you need.
We need to learn how to communicate beyond this verbal.
We need telepathy.
We need it now. We need to do that shit now because you cannot speak as fast as you can think. I
just wonder, is it gonna come in a spiritual way, like everyone, like aliens, you know, how they can just do it like naturally, you know, or are we gonna be the cyborg civilization, you know, where we fucking take technology as an extension of our like bodies, you know, because truly a phone is a part of your brain, you know, it stores your memory.
Dude, that goes hand in hand with like the way I view the internet, bro.
Yeah, exactly. It's
that
all
Ethernet cord that plugs into our fucking modem. We all just so happen to be already
it's
connected
not.
by
There's
the
a reason it's called that too, bro.
Yeah,
for real.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
The people that you see, the architects that design our world are hip, and they don't just give shit a reason for no reason. You know, CBS or whatever ain't a fucking eye just because it's an eye and because you watch TV. No, that shit.
That was somebody who understood it all, but like we talked about yesterday, chose that good or bad decision. You can either benefit the world or you can fool the world with that supreme mind that you have now after all the work you've done, put into yourself and put into this world and understanding it. And some people, you just choose that route. But then there are those people that lead so many people, that inspire so many people. The news doesn't fucking inspire you.
That lead them astray. Because there's... I like the... How do I explain it? There's like... I like to think of like... an overall in everything, you know, like there's the experience that goes on in my life, and then there's the experience that goes on.
Shit's about to die. Your battery light came on.
Did I bring the
Oh, it's at 4%.
I usually just turn the fucking brightness all the way off. Word.
It's behind that.
Oh, this thing's long as
Oh,
fuck.
that works.
Damn. Well, I got Max here. This thing go across the whole fucking house. It's its own extension cord. Serious.
With that telepathy, there we go. Like, I feel like...
See, anemone. See, anemone.
Right. Finding Nemo side of the ass. No, I feel like we have the capability. We can already read each other's emotions. We can read each other's minds almost in a sense. Not like what they're thinking on cue, but when they're at their most emotional or passionate state of expression.
Yeah.
If we share that same passion in the conversation,
we ride. It's like surfing. We ride their wave, of their thoughts and shit. Like we're almost ready to say the next word because we're just so in tune, with how their emotion is running. Just because they run off of self. So you have the same emotions as like I feel happiness, you feel happiness. So we're able to.
We're just in sync, like
we're mirroring each other, The universe it fucking mirrors itself, and is constantly trying to depict itself.
Yeah,
the best like thing I've ever heard is we ourselves are part of the mystery that we're trying to uncover because ourselves are stuck in the universe, which we're constantly trying to, like unscramble and like decrypt and demystify. But being that we are eternally stuck in the loop, we have to associate ourselves with the universe. Which,
that's how we'll truly get like these answers.
Yeah.
Like we have to, first we have to start giving a shit, because we have to seriously sit down and think about the top 5 or 10 things, or just the first things we could think about that we give a shit about.
Mm-hmm.
And if life, the understanding of the mind, if those type of things aren't the first things that you're saying, then you need to reevaluate what the hell you're thinking about. Because you might not be thinking about shit that's going to help you grow in any way. You're going to, we've already got plenty of examples on where not thinking about these things can take you. Mm-hmm. Look at some of our parents. Look at most of our parents. Look at most of our fucking grandparents.
I want to explain this story. I hate that I have to refer to acid, bro. It's what everything comes, man.
Well, okay. You got to do it if you have to do it. Like if there's something that you can relate to.
Yeah.
Go.
I want to start making short animation films, because one of my short animation films is going to be about a fish, and specifically a fish, because fish is surrounded, in like water, and it's like I don't know, my association with fish, I don't know. Anyway, fucking a fish only has like 4 seconds of fucking memory, they say, like that's how come Dory on Finding Nemo was always like, Anyway, this fish, swimming with a school of fish, in swarm intelligence, everyone inside of the school is just like, I don't know, just going about their day. But one fish decides to break away from the swarm, and swims up. They're in the middle of the Atlantic in like kind of murky water, But one fish decides to break away from the fucking swarm and swims up to the surface of like the surface, surface, and sees like where he's at, is able to see the water, is able to contrast, and then he like just takes a big ass breath and is just like inspired, and then he wants to go and tell the swarm, so he heads back down into murky water. And he goes up into the swarm, and everyone's asking him, what does it look like? What does it look like? What happened up there, And because it's just so big and so vast and so beautiful, he can't even like put it into words, that the fish will understand.
It's something that no fish is familiar with. It's a viewpoint that no fish has. Exactly.
All right. Now, they say, well, give us something, They say, give us something. And then, he tries with all his might to spill a word, you know, of what he experienced up there, and he just burps out a bubble, you know, like a bubble, just a little bubble, and he's like, "That's it," you know, that's what it looks like, and then they're all like looking at it, just, "Are you serious? This little tiny fucking bubble, like." It maybe some fish are tripping on it, like, whoa, you know, I've never seen like something other than water, you know, or yeah, you know, it's just, and then but the thing about the bubble, like I went into the aspect of like while I was thinking about, I went into the aspect of the bubble as well, as he spewed the bubble out, you know, like he like manifested it from himself, you know, like with sheer will to give to them, you know, like
it wasn't like holding his breath, it just like.
Like he tried, like this is what it looks like, you know, but it came out as a bubble. But this bubble, like being in water, rose back to the surface and just became back part of something whole. And that was the end of the fucking. And I was just sitting in the back of the car, like I'm remembering this story.
Yeah.
I made this shit, you know.
Like
I'm going to make a short animation.
Yeah, like
about
a little short film about that, and like that could be just the right amount of enlightenment somebody needs.
Exactly.
Like
a fish out of water. But tell it like it, you can just see it. We all can paint images, you know, like just how he just went up there and just was able to get, you know, take in that little bit, you know, and then went back down. What does it look like? Then just burped. That's the funny part too. It has a little humor to it. Just burps. That's it.
Yeah, like how else could you explain? I mean, it's the opposite of what you're living is oxygen. You're in water, like,
and it just goes. I just feel like it goes hand in hand with the depthness and the universe. You know, what we can comprehend and see, what patterns we can recognize, and what stimulus we run off of. That was like the moral of the story. Breaking away from the swarm, and just seeing.
That's what you. Seeing. I mean, there are like quite a few like things you could take from that, but in order to gain further knowledge, you might have to separate yourself from that swarm, whoever you associate yourself with.
But look how swarms evolve to swarm intelligence. It will start off with one will break away, and it'll go out and collect experiences, and then it will come back. And it will slowly change, you know, each one more and more will start to go out. And eventually it takes on the 100th monkey effect, and that naturally will be what the swarm will do now. Say a fish, instead of eating dirt one day, eating shit at the bottom of the fucking seafloor, he decides to swim up to the top of the water, you know, and eat like seaweed or something, you know, something good. Through natural selection, he's naturally the universe through him willing to take that, you know, that step, you know, the universe looked out for him, you know, but by him being more nutrition, he's able to fucking produce more, like have offspring. So now his offspring are going to be the one going up there and coming back. Now over time, eventually, because we're in linear time, eventually it'll change the swarm intelligence, you know. Now all from the beneficial of one fish swimming up to the surface and coming back, they all now do it, you know, from the evolution of the swarm intelligence. Man, I do not think this way. I'm on heroin, bro.
Yeah, dude.
Like it just comes so natural now. Like before, I'd be like, let me go slay a tray so I can have a deep thought. Like, fuck.
It's better to just share those thoughts with the people that. I mean, some people don't have anybody, but if you have people, utilize those people, because those people want to utilize what you have to offer as well for the benefit of the network that we have. Like, when you and I talk about this shit, we're like batteries. We both have a lot of energy, but when we start talking and stuff, we connect those fucking batteries, and now we have a lot more energy, and we create this higher mind outside of ourselves that is helping us.
A self-perpetuating machine, bro.
Yeah, and if you have more people
that just kicks knowledge all day.
It's just it's always like ego aside and everything, though, it is like the best feeling to know that
It
you
really
can
is.
grasp this type of stuff. Some people's minds, like,
It just gives you room to feel big in the vastness of space.
Yeah.
You know,
because you're starting to like,
it fits you right in the middle of the micro and the macro. You know, it fits you because like we exist in the universe, obviously. You know, so we're subjected to it. You know, but then again, we're able to like perceive the whole universe inside of us. Therefore, the universe itself is subjected to us.
some people are like,
What the fuck? Like a star blew up. How many million years ago for me to do that? I don't know.
yeah, like, exactly. Like, with this open mind, you do fit yourself right into that vastness of infinite knowledge. But most people, they literally say it, and that they say it, and it's a literal sense. They're like, honestly, dude, that shit is just so above me, and it is. It's so above you, but it's with us. It's not any more above us than it is under us. So we're right in the center of it. We're just reaching out, collecting, and kind of just like swimming through it, like because we want to know more. Because, like, I don't know, like
humans are fucking. We're designed, you know, to that's the OCD of the God, like the God aspect mind. You know, it's always measuring, you know, comparing, no matter what. No, you cannot break that, bro. For real, that's one you understand enlightenment once you can understand that, you know, like you're always trying to break something down, trying to understand something. So to find yourself stuck in a state of ignorance is self-perpetual. So that's all I have to say to anybody out there, because I did heroin for a fucking year, bro. Fuck. Some people don't make it back from that.
yeah, like you can either let that be your life, or you can let it be part of your story, and like, and you know what I mean, like
it could be part of the rise in action.
Yeah,
you know?
like it
doesn't have to be the climax or the resolution of your story. It could only be the rise in action to something much greater.
Yeah, like some people that ended the good parts of their story and started the shitty chapters, and they're still living those shitty chapters. They haven't even started anything new. They haven't even added anything new because they've been stuck in that chapter, and there's really not much you can add because you're not sitting around telling everybody these revelations you're having when you're on heroin. You're just sitting there thinking to yourself. It's almost like selfishness to this world and to the people around you.
Bro, your empathy is dead on. I'm telling you, because that's what I would sit there, I would smoke, go sit on the couch, listen to the most deepest shit I could find, and I would just sit there and just hog it.
Yeah, exactly. The world needs us to spread this, and you're being a damn hog.
Yeah.
Like, bust out, bro.
I was hoarding, bro.
It ain't no fun if the homies can't have none. Like,
I was hoarding, bro. But now
ordering knowledge. Messed up, man.
Yeah.
Blocking your Wi-Fi signals, bro. Like, let that shit be unsecured. Like, no.
For sure.
But
I'll let you guys into the Library of Alexandria rather than burning the motherfucker down.
It's just, I realized, like, I don't know, because I talk so much. I mean, we're deep thinkers and shit, but I realized, like, it's not that I talk so much, it's just that I think too much. Like,
you just have a lot of experience to share, you know, with the universe, with Anto, you know, with me, with Artemis.
Freaking Artemis.
Incredible
Incredible dog. Like, I'm seriously willing to have the beef that comes from stealing this dog.
Shut up.
You feel me? Like, I'll lose you as a friend if it has to happen because this dog is so ill.
That dog is ill, bro.
Like, we can still kick it if you can forgive me.
I started hating animals over the past year too. Like, me and Hermes, we've been getting on each other's nerves, bro. For real, man. That shit makes you a different person. It keeps you on like your frontal. I wouldn't say it keeps you on your frontal lobe, you know, of your brain, because it affects like sensory organs and whatnot. But it just keeps you on that alpha level, you know. I don't know. Like, don't get me wrong. You do like it's meditational. You do catch yourself breathing like 4 times a minute. Your heart rate beating 6 times a minute. You know, and fucking you catch yourself in deep states of fucking meditation, but nothing is coming through, and that's the problem. You'll find yourself on the edge of death. You might get something, you know, but you're just so fucked up that you come back to it, and it's just so in contrast with weight consciousness that it completely flows throughout your ear. You know, it just goes out your ear. You just wake up.
Did you guys start saying goodbye to all your family for 90 days? I started texting people. You won't be seeing me much for the next 90 days.
Yeah.
That's part of this whole 90-day grind thing. It's not like you're saying peace out, I'm not talking to you for 90 days, but it's just like letting them know that for the next 90 days, I'm going to devote this time to, in our sense, is creating those neural pathways, you know, those patterns that are going to, you know, three months of constant effort, the same thing, doing the same thing, constantly grinding, so that for the rest of the year, we're already set up because we've got 3 months worth of pattern forming that we've done. And the only way you can do that is to really, truly devote that time. And 3 months is a quarter of the year, and it's not like you're saying peace out to people, but you just let them know that I'm not going to have as much time to kick it or to have do the things that we used to do all the time. And they'll probably initially be like, what the hell are you talking about? Or they might get mad or offended or something, but you got to let them know that you're doing this for yourself and for them, because in return, you're going to see results. You're going to make a lot of money doing this. You're going to develop better habits. You're going to become a better person. So this isn't just going to benefit you. It's going to benefit them, and they'll understand at that point. Yeah. And if they don't,
I think I just had like a view of how the fucking universe like structures itself into a condensed form of linear time, you know. Fucking, okay, say you make a decision. That instant decision, you know, it fires off a neuron. And the brain is so vast in neural connections, it 100% completely mimics the micro background of the entire universe. Have you ever seen that picture of how it shows, like, it's in here, let me see. It shows, like, how the universe is structured and shit. Like that. You know. Anyway, it's exactly how your fucking brain is set up.
Yeah.
You know. So say you make a neural pathway and you set something in stone. You know, in your mind, and it reflects because you're in this eternal loop of the cosmos that you set it in stone in your mind on a say it's almost like, I don't know, like on a macro scale. You know, the stars like reflected in a way, you know, the neural fucking whatever is set.
I feel like they have some significance to what's going on up here. Like, those are
your cells are in tune to like shit, you know, that
they don't need eyeballs. Exactly. They don't need to see things in this physical way we see it. They don't communicate in that sense.
They run purely off of just feeling cells and shit. That's crazy.
But then that goes hand in hand with, that's something that is natural within our minds, something that we don't think about all day, every day. Unfortunately, in this life, we have to be productive. We have to do things. We can't just sit in a room all day, every day and think about this, because as soon as we step out of that room, we're going to be in the same life that we're in. I mean, we're doing all this exploration, but I mean, it would just feel a lot better to be in a better setting while thinking of all this stuff, you know?
Yeah.
In a better living situation, surrounded by better people, or just people that understand the things you do. Like, that's what I'm all about. Like, I realize, like, I live with my grandma. She's crazy. She's crazy
in her own way, though.
Yeah.
Because I don't believe anybody's crazy. Because they only have their like own experience. Yeah.
Like, she literally thinks that there's nothing wrong with her. We will argue and she'll be like, well, I didn't do anything wrong. I can see, it's never been so clear to see, like, I've never seen somebody so apparent within, like, showing that they're lying to themselves. I already know she's lying to me.
Yeah.
But to make it so obvious that you're lying to yourself, to do the eye movements, to do the, well, like that type of shit, I'm like, all right, I've read enough books on the human mind, psychology, than you have. Not to be condescending, not to say I know more than you,
Mm-hmm.
but I know goddamn well I've read more than you. Because, not to throw her under the bus, but she's from Mexico. She speaks English. She can read, she can write, but she can't read as easily as me, and she can't come across the same books I can as easily as I can.
She only has basically she only has to show what culture she's been exposed to.
Yeah, and she feels like that's all she needs to know.
Yeah.
Me, how could we, being as young as we are, want to learn more? But somebody like her, who clearly doesn't know everything, regardless of what she says, like, if you truly are as wise and as smart as you think, then you wouldn't have a problem sitting down and listening to your grandson talk about the exploration and the depths of the human mind, rather than sitting there like, I don't need anybody to teach me anything. Like, all right, well,
true wisdom is infinite. You cannot put a cap on wisdom.
And it's just like, look at where your life is. Look at the accomplishments you've had in your life. And if you're as incredible as you think you are, you probably wouldn't be here where you are right this very second. And with me, the way that I think, I know that I'm clearly I'm not going to be living there. Like, even probably be out of there by January.
Damn.
But
why don't you move in my apartment, bro? It's just a guest house. I'm telling you.
Like,
don't nobody be over there. It's a guest house.
I'm down.
Fuck, it's 2 bedrooms too.
I am sold on that. I've been like needing to get out for the longest time. Like, just that space, because like I said, dude, she wakes up at around like 1:30 p.m. Because she's got battered wife syndrome, so she's a really psychologically fucked up from her shitty marriage that was years and years ago.
Wait, battered wife, like beat?
Like, she was beat, emotionally damaged to the point where she has 3 handicapped sons that were, she was pregnant getting beat. So there's a lot of psychological damage.
Yeah.
But if you know psychology as well as you know it, then you should have overcome it. So I guess she had to stay up till late hours for her husband to come home. My stupid ass grandfather. But he got his karma back hardcore.
Did he?
Yeah, but he would come home at like late hours, and she'd have to stay up and then cook dinner super late. So that's played on for up until this current day. She goes to bed at like 2:30 or 3, sometimes 3:30 if it's a good movie. And she has the fucking TV up all the way. Not all the way, but too damn loud. She's the only one awake at those hours. Everyone's trying to sleep. And then she goes to sleep, and then, like, she literally will sit on that couch all day and watch TV.
It's crazy how the brain prunes like that after, like after so long, you use it or you lose it, like.
Yeah, like I just.
Like, if you could see, like, the fucking outside of the time perspective of it, of being born, going through life, and dying. Like, the way your brain develops, the way it's like a fruit, like series, like it flowers and then it has its climactic stage where it's, and then and it just starts to decay and fucking, and only what's left of the fruit, which would be the seeds and shit, get sent down to the next generation to start. Wow.
Yeah,
I'm through with this heroin, bro. This is like the 100th epiphany today. No acid included.
No acid included. Acid still there. Let's go outside and smoke a cigarette.
Yeah.
Just come in and, dude, see, like, it's good that we for some reason we're separated as associates in life, spiritual associates. And because we went and found our own knowledge, I had no fucking idea till last night. But knowing who you are, and I can't be disappointed. I mean, if anything, I'm just like, dude, you're that much more brave of a person than I.
Artie, let me take your
knew
shirt
you were. Like, oh, do you guys have a lighter?
There's one stuck in the couch right here.
Like, I mean, seriously, if you were to tell your story on why you did it.
Yeah.
It was an experiment. You told people it in the sense that it was an experiment. It was. Rather than, because who the hell would say that? You had brothers who were doing it, or brothers who were doing it, and you said something you wanted to look up to, you believed your family, and you wanted to show him just how possible it is to overcome something with the power of your mind. If that was your fucking story, people would feel no negativity when Well,
chill.
well, let's go over some shit just to get some stuff going. I mean, we're obviously already going over shit, getting things going, but
all seriously, everyday grind, man. This shit,
because you got plans, we've got plans. The more people we have with us that have plans, that's more plans we all have as one. Anto's plans are going to complement what we do, and we're going to partake in them. You've got plans, we're going to partake in that. We got people that are going to do this shit with us, so it's not like we have to do it alone.
Yeah.
So, and we all want to hear each other's plans. So,
it's dope.
Like,
Bro,
oh yeah, you also need to get your.
organized.
This thing is tight, dude. This guide to personal success thing, like, it.
Do you still have my bag?
I have it in Ashley's car. It looks like a bunch of shit, but define your why. It just allows you to write the shit down. Like, everything you need to write down. Where you like to be financially 3 years from now. Sedona AZ, vibing.
Hell yeah.
And just a bunch of shit on there. The people that influence you, write them down. What they do good for you, how they benefit you. Write the people that don't do good for you, and write what they don't do for you, like how they affect you. Like it. This is just something you can like write down, like your list of people that you want to tell about this, the list of people that you want to open up to this opportunity. But it just allows you to this thing is legit, dude. Like it only the people that get the silver pack, which is what we got, are the people that actually benefit from this. Like, we get this. I mean, you can probably get this online. I'm pretty sure you can. But we have a booklet that we can refer to, go back to, and just read it and remind ourselves of what our why was. And, like, the fact that I have to take care of mom and dad right there. Like, my mom treated me like shit. got me thrown in the hole,
Mm-hmm.
took away so much of my freedom.
I was there for a lot of it.
Yeah, like
we talked.
yeah, it was fucked up. And where I was at, like I wanted nothing to do with her.
Mm-hmm.
And then I converted all that to like understanding why they were the way they were. Looking at it in the sense of they're human beings just like I am. They were taught lessons, learned from them or didn't learn, just like me. And they were given opportunities. They were given really shitty lifestyles, just like I had my shitty experiences. They just weren't strong enough to get out of it. I had help, but I also helped myself. They didn't know how to do it, and it was also because they had kids at an early age in their 20s. So that was so much time they had that they didn't have to focus on themselves and bettering themselves. So they had distractions. So now I want to repay them, give myself that ultimate good karma by repaying them, flipping that around and giving them the best life they've ever lived for the rest of their life, for the ending of their life, so that it can end.
Which counts the most, because at the end of your fucking life, when you can't do shit for yourself, you can't even wipe your own ass. That's when it matters.
Yeah,
you know?
And like
it's like being a baby. It's like a baby, you know, baby needs support and shit, you know, until it grows up and is able to do for himself. And then eventually you expire out of that phase, and you need that fucking love all over again.
Yeah, it starts backtracking, because then you become emotionally unstable, you become depressed, you feel like you don't have anybody, just like a baby. If there's nobody there, the baby starts crying. The baby needs help. The baby needs that emotional support. So once you hit, like, I wouldn't even say 50 and then it starts going back, but once you get up to like your 60s or 70s or something, you start backtracking. Eventually you'll actually need a fucking diaper again. Yeah. And
that's crazy.
It's weird how that shit is, dude.
Like, time is such a loop. No matter what.
It's crazy, dude. Like, but we understand it too, and that's what's amazing. Like, we fucking.
That's the divinity of being a human being, I guess. We're able to squeeze the entire universe right through our pineal gland.
This is something that I like. This right here, it's like, it's just something like whenever I have like something to think about that I want to implement in like my speech. This is like one thing that just hit me, and it's not like some huge revelation, but it's pretty big. And it's, most kids are so used to having their parents pay for everything for them, their car, their fucking phone bill, everything. They're given a car when they turn 16 or 17. I still don't have a damn car, and whatever, you know. And they're so they've never paid their damn phone bill. Like some people have a phone and they've never paid a phone bill because their parents. They're still
living in a fetus.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
for real.
And so I put like, so do you want to keep taking and taking from your parents? Like, and your parents have money, they've worked their ass off, so you're taking from them. They're paying your phone bill, they're paying your car payments, they bought you a car, so you're just continue to take and take from them. And then when they die, of course they're going to leave you that money. So you're still going to be taking and taking from your parents even after they die. And eventually you're going to have to truly teach yourself that damn lesson. Like, who's paying your parents' bill? Who's giving your parents all that shit? Their parents, which they're not. So like, give your fucking parents a break before they break. That's how I ended it.
Damn.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I know my mom deserves a motherfucking break too. For real. I know your mom deserves a motherfucking break.
Like, she's had, regardless of the shit she screwed up in, she had 7 goddamn kids and raised them by her goddamn self. So who wouldn't struggle with that? Especially if you're already emotionally unstable, you don't have a support system, you don't have a good man in your life, you were psychologically fucked up by your father because your mom died when you were 12, and your dad really messed you up by doing some really fucked up shit to you. And damn, you know, like, I can't.
The same thing with my fucking mom, bro.
And it's so unfair for them to have been treated like that, and they didn't have a reason to be enlightened like us.
Exactly.
Because at our age, when they were at our age, they were just getting out of that fucked up lifestyle of being, you know, molested or assaulted by their parents, and it's not fair to them. So with us, we do have an advantage because regardless of what they could have done more or what they could have done less of, they still got us to where we are. Whether we're not dead, we're not dumbasses. We don't hate life. We appreciate life. And if we didn't have our parents making the sacrifices, like my mom would get paid, she'd have the rent money, but she knew that if she took us out and bought us some clothes or something, it would make us happy. So she was jeopardizing the rent. It was like every month it was so normal to hear her say every month,
Mhm.
you guys, we might need to be moving out next month because I don't have the rent money.
Yeah.
Every fucking month. It was like, we expected it. And it was always like, well, as soon as she said that to us, we were just like, it was like that.
I know.
We were just
I
like,
know. Trust me, bro. I know.
it was like the worst feeling. It's like, God damn it, now we have to move. And every time we moved, we lost like
all
that
your
much more of our shit. Our friends. Well, but then that time would come. So once she tells us we're gonna get evicted, we were just like, again. And then the end of the month comes, and then she's like, okay, I have the money.
Mhm.
So it's like we're like, okay, cool, great. Then the next month, so it was like our emotions were being tampered with.
Roller coaster.
So fucked up. Like, you can't mess with somebody's emotions like that.
Yeah.
Make them feel like everything's gonna end now. And at the last minute, oh, everything's good. And then the next month, that's a pattern that is very unhealthy.
Mhm.
And like that's what was going on. But the blessing behind all that, I mean, we moved from South Phoenix, 44th Street and Broadway, to Mesa, to Tempe, to Phoenix, all over Phoenix. Like, oh my God, East, West, North Phoenix, South Phoenix, like everywhere.
Throwing up all the signs.
I'm throwing up all the signs. Like, I'm gonna gang because I appreciate all hoods, you know? But like with that, the deep blessing behind that is there are some kids that grew up in the same house and have only been exposed to the same friends.
Yeah.
And now I have on my Facebook, I've got friends from Mesa, from Washington, from Tempe, from everywhere that I've lived. I've made it. That's my network my network has expanded. So you can be like, damn, I couldn't hang out with my friends that I liked a lot. Or you could be like, I made a shitload of friends because I was placed in so many different areas around the city, around the state, like. And I mean, it's just about finding the good in the bad, like yin and yang. The black represents the bad, the white represents the good. The little white dot in the black represents the good and the bad, the good inside of the bad. And the black dot inside of the white part of the yin and yang represents the bad inside of the good. Like,
oh, it's inseparable.
I mean, it's just it's your perception of it all. Like, what is feeling shitty about a shitty situation going to do for you? The situation's already shitty. Are you going to match that with your emotions? Because that's just going to make it overall shitty. You have been, consumed by that shitty. And, like, nobody's going to feel negative in a positive situation. You're going to reverse it when it's positive. I mean, well, you're going to match it when it's, I guess, I don't know, like.
Vibe, bro.
Suppression. But it's just.
Damn it, you third dimension! Right? I want telepathy now! I want telepathy now!
Like, right now. That would be nice, man.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, so many people would be so far behind.
Man, no! Like, imagine! Bro, imagine if we actually had telepathy. And humans are we're deeply insecure about ourselves, no matter who you fucking are. You take all your flaws to the extreme, But being human and the quality of human, how I was talking about, you fill in the gaps of shit, with beauty, and you're able to like vivify a better pixelated picture, just from experience. And fucking, I forgot where I was going. Fuck.
That's alright.
Whoa. Wait, what was I talking about? Hold on. Remind me, because
human beings,
Fuck.
Dude, honestly, like, it's so hard for me to catch with somebody because I'm following them word for word.
Yeah.
So I'm right there with them as much as I could be.
Mm-hmm.
So, like,
it's like that.
I'm going on that moment to moment, second by second thought basis with them.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm right there with them. So it's hard for me to backtrack too.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to do it within myself.
Once the wave crashes, I was just riding it. Crashes.
Yeah, it doesn't just crash for you. I'm on that wave too, and
yeah.
I can't walk on water. I'm crashed by that too. Like, but damn. We're the freaking future, bro. I'll never stop acknowledging the fact that 50% of this world is under the age of 30.
Is it?
Yes. Yes.
Fuck.
And that means 50% of us have so much goddamn time to change this world. It's not even funny.
Yeah.
We gotta do it.
And there's so much, like, as time goes on and we progress in technology, so much more happens within each second, Like, more tweets are being shared within each second. More people are having more experiences within each second via your experience or someone else's, reading someone else's and getting that sense of empathy. Either way, there's still more experience going on in every second as we progress towards something, whatever the fuck our climax of human civilization is, you know. But it doesn't even have to be like that, you know. Like it doesn't have to have it, and like we can go like transcend the universe literally, you know. Like say we overcome war and shit like that, you know. Like we don't have Star Wars. Instead, we're out terraforming planets and making Earths in every fucking solar system, you know. Imagine how beautiful and vibrant and really rich and alive the universe would be then, you know. Instead of fucking blowing every planet up and intoxicating it with fucking carbon fuels, which would be carbon dioxide, butanes, all that shit, you know. Gassy, nasty planets that rain down fucking shit. Oil that rains from the sky. I would much rather live in a universe where there's fucking trees and birds and just everything is dancing.
Everything is just embracing itself.
Exactly.
And just...
And then once you get beyond that point too, even say you're able to break a linear time, you know, and able to change like put yourself in a different timeline, you know, like a different parallel universe, you know, because say aliens do exist, you know, aliens exist, you know. If they're here right now, that means that the technology does exist for us to break linear time. They have already done it, you know. So that just goes to show that that's one possibility of our fucking what paths that we can take, you know. Like, will humanity ultimately destroy itself, or will it fucking transcend itself?
It will definitely transcend itself. We are all cells in this world, just like the cells in our body. Some of them, like with cancer, some of them are dying, some of them are, you know, there are those bad ones and those good ones. And when you get those bad cells, aka, we'll say, a heroin addict who has no goals in life, who feels really shitty, who doesn't have any inspiration, any reason to be happy about life. If you put him in a room with 10 people, I mean, if those people are open-minded, they might learn a lot from him. But 10 random people that just know basic stuff, they're basic human beings who watch the news, who watch pop culture, who go on social media and follow all the pop stars to see what they're doing. 10 people that are like that. Put them in a room and have the speaker be somebody who you pulled up from the side of the street or from some shitty lifestyle. Put him in a room. And then have him talk for 10 minutes or 20 minutes. And then do you think that person's going to influence those people as much as if you put those same 10 people in there and threw you or me or somebody else who thinks this way in there? That just shows to you how much you can change this fucking world. Because those people are going to like really like, you're not going to give those people any positive influence unless they're really open-minded and can see some deep lessons behind all that. But generally people are going to be like uncomfortable. They're not going to want to hear it. But with us, with people like this, but people that think outside the box instead of, you know, just being stuck in the box and figuring out how shitty the box is, like, we can change this world. We just got to understand that we can, because we're a lot stronger than those dead cells. Those dead cells are dead. We're alive. We're so alive that we're going beyond ourselves now, appreciating the things out there. We can appreciate ourselves for what we are. So now we're jumping outside of ourselves when it comes to appreciation. We're not just appreciating ourselves, but we always remind ourselves to appreciate ourselves. We always naturally address ourselves as supreme beings to this world. Like, we never forget to acknowledge how incredible we are as human beings within ourselves and within every human being in this world, even the bad ones, like, or the ones that aren't to their fullest potential. I don't even want to say they're bad. They just don't understand their potential. And if people would rather feel good than bad, there's no doubt about that. Nobody wakes up and wants to feel shitty. They want a difference. They feel shitty and they're waiting for a reason to not feel shitty. They think that being a negative person, hope maybe they'll get some positive results, but they won't. So we got to let them know that positive thinking, a positive outlook brings positive results. Only that type of outlook brings positive results. Not being a negative person. You could be negative, hit a lick, hit all kinds of licks and make a lot of money because you're robbing people and robbing houses and stealing shit from people, but you still now live your life on fear, like that shit might happen to you.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever, like, I mean, nobody, if you are that type of person and live that kind of lifestyle, you probably have some type of weapon or some type of, whether it be a gun or just that mentality.
Mm-hmm.
You're always ready to defend yourself. You're always ready to, you've got that expectation, like negative things can happen. Negative things will probably happen. So I got to always be ready. But if you just, like, eventually, like, you can get to a point where, like, you know it can happen. You accept it as an inevitability. But you portray and give off so much positive energy that you accept the fact that it's probably not going to come back at you. I mean, it's going to just come back at you. Negative shit, you're going to get those signs, those little challenges in life that you have to overcome. But if you're truly a positive person, you can overcome them with ease.
Yeah.
You can turn the other cheek when somebody writes on your status that was influential and they're like gay or some dumb shit. You're just like, all right, well, I posted this because I feel this way.
Mm-hmm.
And this person posted that because he probably feels the opposite. And I know I feel better than him, so there's no point in arguing with this person because I already know I'm happier than them.
Damn.
And you get more satisfaction out of that.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can retaliate and, like they say, stoop down to their level.
Yeah.
Not just stoop down to their maturity level, but stoop down to
Energetic.
their emotional, energetic
Yeah.
level. Exactly. You're giving up your positive energy for somebody. You're letting that shit just go off into the air for somebody else who doesn't have it. Or you can try to give them some of it. They probably won't want it. So if they don't want it, then just there's no point in giving up some positive anything that you have within yourself. Giving it up to nothing.
I just want to say thank you, fucking guys, for picking me up.
Yeah,
on
dude.
My first day back too, and having this Satsang. I feel like this is like a Satsang, you know, for real.
We've definitely been talking about things that matter.
Yeah.
We've been utilizing this time
Mm-hmm.
to grow. I mean, it's always growing from here when you have these kind of conversations. When you're never losing anything from this. You're gaining, even if you're going over things that you already know. It's just being brought back up into your mind, and the more it's brought up, it becomes unconscious competence. You're just unconsciously aware of it. Like the shoe tying reference, like when I think I already told you this. It's from this guy Kevin Trudeau who wrote that book.
Mm-hmm.
His reference to it was like when you're a kid, you don't know how to tie your shoes. There's 4 steps of processing knowledge. There's what is it?
Unconscious.
There's unconscious incompetence, meaning you don't know that you don't know. Then there's conscious incompetence, meaning you know it, but you don't know. So you know that you don't know. Then there's conscious competence, meaning you know it, and you basically do it. You know, you have to, you know what you know. And then there's unconscious competence, meaning you know it and it happens automatically. It's that alpha state. It's that autopilot.
Mm-hmm.
So like when you're a kid, you're 3 years old, 4 years old, your parents say tie your shoe, they're probably not going to tell you because they know you don't know how.
Mm-hmm.
So if they were to say it, you'd be like, what does that even mean? My shoe, tie it? Like you're unconsciously incompetent because you don't even know. And then they tell you, and then you're like, okay, so you're telling me to do this, but I don't know how to do it. So that's conscious incompetence. So you know what you have to do, but you don't know how to do it. And then there's conscious competence, meaning you practice it and you do the bunny ears and you do this and you do that. So when you do it, you do it. You know, like you have
it's
to
on
sit
a
and think.
conscious level, like
you're consciously aware of
in
it. But then as you do it more and more and more, eventually you get to that point where you don't really even remember the last time you tied your damn shoe. Like it's unconscious competence. You do it and it's just like with ease. Like it's nothing huge it doesn't take a lot of mind power, but it's the easiest thing that anybody can relate to because we all learned how to tie our shoes. That's one thing that we all needed to learn in life. Nobody didn't learn that. Like that's just the best way to explain that because it's not too deep and it's in a relatable way that anybody can relate to. But that goes with any form of processing any information. When you do your damn lock code on your phone, most people are at unconscious competence with that because it's just like it's more of like where the thumb goes. It's not even remembering the numbers anymore. It's just like third column, the third one, middle, third column again, and the bottom, third number on the third column. Like it's just like with anything.
I think it's more of a self thing, like how it's
like a thing, like the placement of the like
just the vibratory, just the Bible where your fingers at.
Your mind has reminded your thumb to go that high, that low, that high again, and like I mean, it's unconscious competence, and it's with anything, with talking about things. The more you talk about it, the more it's going to become a natural, unconscious thought. It's going to just happen automatically. That you can just vibe on cue, and that's where we're at. Like we don't talk about the same things all the time. We always switch it up. We go back to a lot of the same things, but it's not like we're like backtracking with our knowledge or anything. We're just reminding ourselves or bringing up something that enlightened us, something that uplifted us when we found out. And like we can sit and have a conversation with a random person, and we have a lot of material to use, a lot. And the more you talk about it, that just sets you up for understanding things in a different sense. Because when you read something once, it'll mean something. And if it's powerful, it'll mean something good. But if you keep reading it while you're experiencing life, you go back to it and you be like, holy shit, like that is so much deeper than I thought it was when I read it a year ago. Like I understand what that truly means now. Like it's
like you're able to fill in like the gaps that you weren't like able to comprehend before, you know. Like you learn the right criteria to go on to the next level.
And then you start obtaining knowledge, then you're just like, whoa, did I just say that? You're like, whoa. And that's like, that just shows you that we have access to infinite knowledge, because we have those moments where we're like, dude, honestly, I don't even know where that came from. I just pulled that out. Like you can do that with so much more, and with so much information you can just obtain naturally. You just got to be open-minded and just open in general. We're receivers and transmitters. We've got to receive just as much as we transmit. Most people just receive, or they just transmit and they don't receive shit. Like
I say, like the quality of life, like what makes quality of life like so great is like being able to take like just ordinary shit, you know, and then like texturalize it and beautify it, you know. That's the aspect of human, you know. That's why we are always, you know, able to fucking we take ordinary matter and we fucking turn it into a phone, you know, like or we make pyramids out of fucking just stones, you know, that actually end up being able to power the whole world if we actually turned it on, you know. Like
you got to have that depth of vision too, like to really truly appreciate something. Like you could look at this notebook and be like, oh, that's cool, it's a notebook, you can write shit in it. Or you could have depth of vision, like right now, on cue, what I think of this notebook. Nature, in its beauty, produced a beautiful tree that produced oxygen. Somebody cut it down, which is kind of sad in a way. I mean, if you're really emotional about nature being diminished or whatever, bless you.
Thanks.
But they cut it down to produce paper, and, you know, they made this fucking book. And now with this book and with these pencils that were also from something that nature gave us, we're able to put our thoughts in. We can write shit down. We can write down really powerful things, refer to them, and it'll always be into our life. So it's like a really beautiful circle. It's more than just a goddamn notebook, you know? Yeah. It's more than that. You just got to be able to... That's just how you know you're a deep thinker, when you can look at something more than what it actually is. Like, with anything, like...
It's like the mind of a poet. Seriously. Everything just becomes poetry. Which is unto itself an art, you know?
Yeah.
Which is what you got the same aspects. Human being able to transmute anything is an art. Being able to use your will to anything, you know? For real.
Everything started off of somebody who had an imagination.
Yeah!
Everything. McDonald's, Verizon,
Bank
of America. Somebody was like, I got a good idea. I'm going to start a company. The structure of this studio. It isn't just a blob, a circular fucking igloo style hut made out of mud.
It condensed out of a different dimension of thinking, you know.
Somebody was like, this would be a good layout for this. Let's design it. Let's draw this out. They used their damn mind. They didn't and if they referred to something, they referred to something that somebody else used their mind to give them as a reference. And they drew it out with the imagination. Or buildings, architects, like when they design that shit, it's not just, all right, we don't have any blueprints or nothing, we're just going to go there and start from scratch. They use their mind.
And they're thinking when, how long, their ability.
I mean, everything starts with thought.
Mm-hmm.
Every single thing that we are looking at right here, right now, in this physical, with these pants, this sweater.
Whether it's conscious or unconscious, because I just went to go twist my hair right now, and that even took thought power, you know?
Yeah, like, everything is controlled by thought. As far as, you know, how we do things as human beings, like, I mean, there's more to it and whatnot, but
it just goes to show the real connection between like matter and mind, you know? Like, I think you just like really exposed me to like how it really is connected.
Yeah, man. Like, there's a reason why they say mind over matter.
I'm gonna start moving shit like tomorrow. Watch. No.
I remember that one when you were living on Larkspur, and I remember you had that jar and you had a little stick in there, and you were really trying to like move that shit. Like, I mean,
I haven't tried since then, man.
But the thing is, like, the people that do that, they don't just try for a day or a week or a month or a year. They try until they can do it. And next thing you know, they can do it. And then everybody's like, this person's crazy, or they don't believe it or something. Like, I don't know. I've never met somebody that could do that. But I don't believe it's impossible. Like, I mean, people like monks can throw a fucking jab that produces so much energy that it goes outside of their fist and shoots air, you know, like they can do, like.
I wonder if everything is written in like physicality, you know, say like someone actually does telekinesis, you know,
like how they do it.
Yeah, like the math, like does everything require mathematics, or can you like how? Okay, this is a better way, like. Where do the bending of the laws of the universe actually take place, you know? Like, say someone moves something mind over matter, like really moves it. Like, what physical laws did he use to do that, or did he bend them himself? Like,
okay, I see what you're saying. So, yeah.
Because if you really look at the universe, it plays out in entropy, you know? So, like, me, like I said, I did move something, like, there's, like, is there, like, energy, like, magnet from like running from here to here that caused it to do it, or was it pure conscious will, you know?
I think it just
it has to go hand in hand, because it's like you said, the thought, you know.
I think we're closer to being able to do that than some random person that doesn't. Not that we can do it, not that we're going to be able to do it in a year from now, but because we understand what it takes for this universe to be able to allow us to pick that debit card up off the table. So you've got to understand more than just yourself. You've got to understand what you're trying to move. You've got to understand what is surrounding it in that given time. You've got to understand what it's on, what's around it.
What it took to get there.
You've got to understand everything, but you've also got to understand the mind and how...
This bitch is, like, it had to gone through World War I and II to get here. Like, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, had those wars would have not happened, like...
Damn.
I mean, yeah, dude. It's...
Talk about a butterfly effect.
I just want to blow my brains out sometimes. I'm like, damn, this shit's just like firing off so fast. Like, there's so much activity going on. Can't even take it.
Dang. This is ill.
Man.
That Satsang on Saturday would have been dope.
Yeah.
Just from us two, you know, from right now.
Yeah, dude.
Just imagine more people.
Like, we were at the hookah bar, like, when was it? Friday night? And I invited Ashley to come over. No, it was Saturday, right?
Yeah, Saturday.
And I told Ash to come through because she was working all day. And no, it was Sunday. What the hell? And I told Ash to come over, and she came over, and we just started vibing. Me, her, him, this dude Juan.
Yeah, Juan. I like that guy.
Yeah,
he's cool as fuck.
And his sister Veta. And we were just talking about like nature and the power of the mind and like the human body and the way it adapts to things, and just like about plant life and about bugs, and how if all human beings in the world just tomorrow we just all vanished, the world would revive itself. It doesn't need us. But if all animals and plants disappeared, this world would collapse. I mean, not collapse, but this world would end. It would destroy. It would be destroyed because bugs, plants, bugs particularly. If we didn't have bees, if we didn't have things like certain bugs, like they have their role in in this world, you know? Like, it's more than just to bug the shit out of us.
Yeah.
They have their significances. Ants, too, like... Oh, man.
It's crazy to like how much goes on at once, you know, like the entire fucking universe is like functioning, you know, right now.
Right.
Even as a single entity, you know, but there's consciousness in every space and point, you know, because they say everything has consciousness, every atom. So the universe is looking at itself from every fucking degree, like, you know,
Yeah.
like wonder how many times like this conversation has been recorded, even though like even if it wasn't recorded, you know, how many times like maybe we went into like a past life just to go back to a certain moment to hear something that we needed to say, you know. Like,
I feel like we're old souls for sure, man. We've been somewhere in this life and maybe before it, if the reincarnation is, if that's what it's all about or something, but whatever the case is, there's more to it. It didn't just start when we were born.
mm-hmm.
Like, there had to have been something
Right.
before with us.
That's what I always get into too. Like what makes a child drawn to certain things, you know, like say like how they choose the Dalai Lama. They'll lay out like a bunch of like hundreds of things, and a child would be drawn to certain things, you know. Does that come from past life recognition or what, you know? Like,
Yeah, because not every baby likes the same. Baby is like this toy more, that toy more, or this color more. They're more attracted to certain things.
No, but the thing is, what I'm getting at is like where your choices ultimately lead you. You know, like say me, when I was little, I was really into Lion King and shit like that. You know, now look at me, fucking looking Rafiki ass. You know, like
yeah,
it's just shit like that.
Like we all have those different interests at a young age. Like with me, when I was in. It started in second grade.
No, I'm trying. Again, it represents itself in the timelessness. You know.
Oh, okay.
Like, even like from the time I was a kid to now, I've had that like that same like I don't know what it is, but the interest in, you know, whatever that is. You know, like did that come from neuroplasticity, or did that come from past life, or what ontologically scaled, or where did that come from? You know, and it's that way with every person that I like. Wonder that shit with. Like,
yeah,
did you live through fucking? I'm just giving this example, but did you like live through the dark ages to be like attracted to like knight and like armor and fucking swords and shit? You know, like did I live through fucking I don't know Dungeons and Dragons and shit? And I'm just so bedazzled by magic and whatever, you know, video games. Like I don't know.
Like, I don't know. I just think that it had to have, I don't know, like, actually, I don't even know.
Want me to let you in on some insight?
Yeah, let's hear it.
If you ever want to make something that, like, takes great place in the universe, you know, like how people start companies or start phones and something. If you ever wanted to have durability, last, become, you know, like be on the surface, have it like mirror the universe, refract it, you know, like look at the way the internet runs off of ones and zeros, you know, that same way it runs off of ones and zeros is the same algorithm that controls our mind, you know. Someone understood that and implemented that into a computer, and now look how a computer works. It mirrors the universe.
Yeah, I feel like there's something inside of these things that connects to the internet that beyond the mechanics inside of them, there's some components inside of these devices that connects something. I mean, like, I feel like something in our mind is activated and connected with it. Like, I feel like it's more than just a phone that connects you to this internet, whatever the internet is. I mean, we know what it is, but that gives you infinite knowledge. Like, we already have this knowledge. I feel like there's something in this that allows us to, I mean, obviously there's something in it that allows us to access the infinite knowledge of the world. But I feel like it's more than just a phone that has a signal leading to somewhere. I feel like we partake in that signal. The fact that we hold it, the fact that we physically are connected to it, like, I feel like this is just...
You're ready for an acid trip, bro.
Yeah,
you understand like the personification that you give to life. You know, you'll
can't
you'll
fucking
understand.
wait, dude.
Because when I was talking about earlier how you're stuck in like between the macro and the microcosm, you know, like how you give personification is like that thin, the fine line that you ride, you know.
Yeah, that's what because I feel myself suppressed so often with trying to give an explanation about something. I'm always like,
all you need to do is one time too,
yeah,
really.
like shrooms. I mean, I'm gonna definitely. There's gonna be 2 times. I'm gonna try acid. I'm gonna try shrooms.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I've never been so ready. You know, like. I mean, I know that I could, like...
It's like a rite of passage.
Yeah.
Like,
and it's weird because some people, like... I feel like I have... Not I have to, not like there's an obligation. But I'm choosing to have to do it because... For the longest time, I've seen them. I feel like they've been around at your house or something. They've been around at my cousin's. He used to sell them, like, bags of them. And he just found a person that had them, and they're so hard to get. And he just came up, and he had a bunch of chocolates, too. And he had them in his closet. And fucking ants got up to him, bro.
Yeah.
Like, he saw a bunch of ants in his room. He's like, what the hell? And he went up, and they had the chocolate, little, like, 2-gram chocolate things in the closet.
Yeah.
And the ants ate through the Ziploc bag. Those ants were probably on one.
Yeah.
But they ate all of them. But, I mean, he still had the other ones. But, like, I've had them, and I know that I've wanted to experience it. But something in my mind was saying, bro, you're not ready yet.
Mm-hmm.
Some people just do that shit out of impulse. And maybe those people can handle it. But I feel like there's a reason why my mind was keeping me away from it, even though I knew I really wanted to do it. And I knew they were right there in front of me. As many as I could take. Obviously, I wouldn't take that much. But just like something was keeping me away from it until I was ready.
Yeah.
It was myself. Maybe it was my unconscious mind. But it was something outer as well, I feel. Or maybe it was something deep inner.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know which one it is. Or maybe it's both.
Both, yeah.
But... Like,
I just want to say this: when you do trip, like, because I said you go further and further out. You know, the further out you go, the more shit you bring back. So I just want to say, be careful with that because you might bring back
That's the only fear that I have, and it's not a negative fear, but it's like because I know how deep my mind goes sober without those hallucinogens. That's the only thing.
But I learned while tripping is once you learn how to ride with the timelessness of space, then you'll be all right. You know, like a thought is just a thought in the infinite.
So basically,
thoughts that arise, you know, in the universe. Like all the thoughts you've had, I haven't had, you know. So.
And vice versa. Like, I could see like you'll be sitting there and you'll be like. Dude, like it bugs me, like...
Wait, I still have to live through your eyes, you know, on some level, you know, like, say I die and I come back, like, maybe I'll live through the eyes of Mario, you know, see what that nigga went through, and maybe it's like, it's a connection like that, or, you know,
yeah,
because it's really, like, one mind that guides the universe, there's no denying that, because I'll be saying something and someone fucking... go, we're gonna be doing this as long as I'm saying it, you know, or someone will take the words right from my mouth, or I'll be thinking something, someone will turn on the TV and it'll pop up what I'm thinking instantly.
And that shit's, dude.
And it happens way more than people, like, give credit to.
Or they give credit, but they
just don't want to legally
recognize it. They're like, "Oh, that's cool."
Some people are scared. Some people are scared.
Yeah,
when it first happened to me, it started scaring me. I was like, "What the fuck?"
Like, what are the odds that you turn on the radio and it just so happens to be something you didn't catch him halfway through that one word that he said. You caught him at the perfect moment that he ended the previous word and said the new word that completely correlated with what you just thought of or what you just got done talking about,
Like how Bumblebee uses his speaker box to change the words, you know, like to hear the right words in the right order synchronized perfectly. Fuck. That's happened to me before too. One time I was tripping on acid. I was watching Discovery Channel.
Are you ever sober?
I know where am I?
Are you addicted to acid, bro?
I'm telling you, bro.
When are you not?
Man, anyway, I was watching like this nature shit, and I got thrown in. I figured I'm finally like my final resting place is going to be like the Amazon. You know, when I'm old as fuck, I'm gonna be in the Amazon forest, and the way that all the trees like dissolved and like, cause you're looking at it like humans, we're so like aliens, bro. We create virtual worlds that we don't have to like pop into a dimension to see, that we can just go through linear time and watch, you know.
Yeah.
And I tripped hard on that, thinking about that on that sometime. But while I was watching this nature shit and watching all these trees and all the leaves dissolve together, this tree and this tree's leaves dissolve together, and then this massive fucking just vibe going through all the trees at once, you know. And then after seeing that, like it rises to the like surface of your consciousness, you know. So now you have that energy going on, you know, like you're aware of something, you know, something deeper, grander. And then all of a sudden, it was the most beautiful fucking thing. I cried the next morning when I reminisced on this flower, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Like, all the sound of every cricket, bird, wind, everything, all condensed into one sound, bro.
Damn.
And,
I can see how you would
and
take that, yeah.
It was the most beautiful fucking song I've ever heard. Like it's the music, like the overruling spirits, you know, that in my tradition that they talk about, that's the music they listen to.
That's like the music of the world, the music of nature.
Exactly. Like everyone talking at the same time, you know. Say you can take everyone's voice talking right now and just throw it all together at one. What would it sound like, you know? Like, would we all be singing along, you know, like as one?
That would be crazy. Somebody should conduct an experiment like that. But at the same time, that would kind of like be an invasion of privacy in a sense. There'd have to be something like, could you imagine what would, I mean, we really can't imagine, but to hear everybody in every single state,
powerful.
Like, it probably would be more than just a bunch of conversations. You would probably notice patterns because we are all in sync in some ways. We are all connected through the ether, through our minds, through the space within our minds. Like, we are all so like connected. We're all grounded to this earth. We are all surfaced on this, you know, we are all down here. Like, we're all so connected. I feel like it would be so much more than just like when you're in lunch at school and you just hear everybody talking. It sounds like a bunch of bullshit. Like, if it was everybody in the world, dude, like there would probably it'd be some binaural beats type shit.
Yeah, that's what
You feel me?
Give some wisdom down.
Yeah, man, like,
fuck. That is ill. I'm ready to conduct that experiment.
I mean, seriously, like the conducted experiments that have taken place up to this point, some of them are like incredible, some of them are useless, but still incredible in their own ways. So we're not going to grow from knowing this is that way, but it's still somebody conducted it because they thought like that'd be pretty cool. Yeah. But there are so much more experiments to be conducted. And we are the ones who have the most time. We're barely 20 years old.
Yeah.
We can...
That's not even halfway up the hill.
No.
Yeah, we have such a beautiful view and we're even halfway up the fucking hill.
Not even. We have so much time. And where we are right now, like, if we just... I mean, I don't see going any other way as an option.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine not thinking this way anymore. Yeah. Once you're here, like, it's
I would feel like a sellout if I
don't even feel like it'd be humanly possible for us to do that. But yeah, absolutely, you'd feel like a sellout.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, you've created so many of these incredible like neural pathways that just go to these levels, these routes of thought. That, like, that's the norm for you now. You don't just go to the store and see somebody interesting or something and you don't, like, observe them anymore. Or you see weird things in the streets or in anywhere, in any situation or any setting in life. And, like, you're not going to ever just go there and just, like, not look around. You're not going to just go and look at the damn ground like some people do. Like, once you're open-minded, like, truly open-minded. Some people are like, oh, I'm open-minded. Oh, I'm random. Oh, I'm outgoing. I'm spontaneous. Like,
But
it's like, are you really?
Yeah.
Like, if you were, you wouldn't have to hype yourself up like that.
Yeah.
Like an open-minded person. I mean, I know I'm open-minded, but I'm not going to go and tell everybody I am.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have any conversation with them, and they will learn right away that I'm open-minded.
Yeah.
Like, that's how you just show somebody. You don't tell them you're open-minded. You show them.
Yeah.
Your mind doesn't speak. Why would you, like,
Mm-hmm.
it's...
Damn. I just love like how many different ways you can convey wisdom too. Like knowledge has been kicked since the dawn of history in seminars like this, you know.
Yeah, man.
And that's crazy too. That's how knowledge is passed along, bro. That's how we should do it.
Yeah.
Because that's how it's been the dawn of like tribes. You know, there was the one person that stood like, well, because the universe has hierarchical clustering. You know, there's a leaf at the top of the tree. You know, no, it's written in the universe. So there should always be at least that one speaker. You know, that should be able to enlighten everybody. You know. That everyone can like really draw off of energetically, you know. That's how they did it in the Roman days. That was the dawn of democracy, bro. They would robe up, everyone would put on their togas and just go sit in a semicircle while one person held the floor down and explode, like let out everything, you know. And they would just talk about mastermind.
Yeah, exactly. Like the mastermind concept is applied in so many ways. At your native ceremonies, it's not one person vibing. It's everybody on that same level.
Hold on. Hold on. I recorded one song, bro. Listen to how beautiful this shit is.
Dude. I know.
I'm gonna have to turn this off though. Man, I got chewed out.
Damn. I got a snap from Lexi. Let's see.